Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Betrayal at Krondor. We are back in Raglan, and we cannot explore the old areas in this chapter. If you try to leave the area around High Castle, they'll just be like, "Oh, it's too important that we stay here. We've got work to do," kind of thing. I don't remember exactly what they said, but that was essentially the gist. So, I guess I'm not going to be doing that. I also am not going to be getting blessings on these things at the moment, but I guess we'll figure out what we can do later. Now, I do think that I will get the Bessie Maulers. Let's go ahead and buy one. We'll take a look at it. See how good it is. Who has the best haggling right now? Is it obviously not Patras? You shouldn't be at 99, right? He should be at 100. Alright, well, we'll have James get it anyway, since he is at 100. Haggle. Okay, if you're gonna be that way, I'll try it again. Haggle. Does this guy not haggle? I'll take it. Alright, so, the Bessie Mauler. It is a heavy crossbow. Accuracy is -10, but base damage is 75. Compare that to the Elven crossbow, which is 25 and 25. So it is a massive damage increase. $348? Sure. Alright, so there goes some of our money. It is all fine. Get rid of those. Okay, so, unfortunately they're 75%. I'm gonna want to avoid using them a bit. I don't think that there are any... They do have heavy bowstrings. Should I get some? I think I will. That way I'll at least be able to, repair them if they end up breaking. 50... Thanks. Here, Patras, you can hold on to these. Is there anything else that I want? Yeah, so I can't go back and get the books, unfortunately. Oh well. How much of that do we have? 9? That's fine. Alright. Alright, so I've sold a bunch of stuff. We are still in Raglan, of course. And let's go ahead and bookmark, and we'll start... Oops. Accidentally clicked on the shop. Didn't mean to. Let's go ahead and check out these buildings, see what we've got around here. Private residence, James said. I'm not sure if anyone is about or not. Locklear hesitated before the door. Crodlek, he snarled, rubbing his finger across 3 red marks on the doorframe. What does that mean? Asked Patras. Captain Krondor. He is a Mordell leader who has a reputation for setting up residents in empty dwellings. What are the 3 red marks over the door? Those are equal in number to the original inhabitants he murdered to ensure the emptiness of the structure. The rumors of his savagery have spread as far south as Krondor. Fearing an exchange would draw unwanted attention from other Mordell nearby, and realizing the futility of a confrontation, they left. Well then, alright. I guess we won't do anything with that house, but, Captain, sounds like, that might be where the plans are. Private residence. A strange old elf answered the door. He glared at Patras suspiciously with upraised eyebrows. Yes, did Aaron the minstrel send you to sing for me? No. Then why are you annoying me? Screamed the Mordell. Before they could protest, he stormed into his house, closing the heavy wooden door with a bang. I wonder why he was looking at Patras. James pushed open the wooden door. No one has lived here in some time, he said, looking around the empty room. Another private residence. Locklear knocked loudly on the door. Expecting a Moradel, they were a bit surprised to see a large bull of a man come to the door. He eyed them suspiciously, then spoke. Mother of Ishap, look at this! Kingdom dogs looking for a bone! He sneered at Patras, then said with a snarl, You'd best go back where you belong. There ain't no work here for the likes of you. Now get! Rather than provoking a fight that could attract the whole town, Locklear agreed they should leave. Well, that appears to be all of the houses. Have I searched these? An old Mordell answered their call. Despite the unusual group he found before him, he allowed them into his tent. He spoke to them in the kingdom tongue. Were things you wear taken by combat, or do they represent true loyalties? Locklear spoke quickly. We are from the kingdom, but we bow down before only two powers, gold and silver. The Mordell was either satisfied with this answer, or he was too tired to care. He motioned for them to sit down. After a short conversation, they found out that he had come to Raglan to die. Too old to travel with the rest of his clan and not willing to stay alone in Raglan, he had resolved to wander off into the forest and let his life slip away like the wind in the trees. Though he hated the Mordell race, the conversation made Patras sort of sad. He was glad when they left. Oh, Patras is a racist. I didn't know that. The tent was small. Although he wasn't certain how many men it might hold, it was large enough to hold at least one person who wished them dead. The Mordell clans are largely migratory. There are a few small towns like this one with houses, but the tent before us is a more customary dwelling, Locklear whispered. He called to the occupant of the tent, but received no reply. The owner appears to be away. Perhaps we should take a look inside, he said. Sure, why not? Locklear looked around carefully, then pulled back the flap of the tent and slipped inside. Patras stayed outside as a lookout. There was a bedroll on the floor and some rations in a small chest. Something on the wall of the tent caught his eye, and he went to have a look at it. What had looked like a message of some kind turned out to be nothing but a small blemish. He took a step back, putting his foot in the middle of the bedroll, and onto something hard. Pulling the bedroll aside, he discovered a Mordell lamprey hidden underneath. Alright. I think I ended up with some extra rations. You go ahead and have those. You go ahead and have those. And a 93 quality Mordell lamprey. I mean, I'll keep it in case I get a chance to sell it. Though they were speaking in Mordell, the loud voices inside the tent seemed to indicate it was home to a small family. Mordell discipline is very strict, said Locklear, listening to the harsh yelling going on inside. Perhaps we should come back at a better time. Perhaps we should. They approached the small tent. Pulling back the flap, James took a moment to survey the interior. This tent hasn't been lived in for some time, he said. You would think it would have blown away by now. Or something. Without anyone to make sure that it doesn't blow away. James pulled back a tent flap. This place is abandoned, Locklear said, looking around. But maybe the occupants left something behind we can use. Let's have a look. 1 gold coin! That looks like a whole pile of them. Amazing. A 78 quality shell. I will take that. What else do we have in the area? That appears to be it. Let's go ahead and bookmark again. Make our way down this road a bit. Take a gander with the spyglass. Alright, there is some stuff up that way. Question is whether we will be able to get to it. Mordell warrior hadn't noticed them. Well, let's see if we can get into a fight. Why not, right? It would help if I would stop clicking on the wrong buttons. Actually, let me go ahead and sharpen that, that weapon. Oh. It is good enough. Alright. Guess we can do that, then. Now we'll, not get any points into that. Fine. Be that way, game. Whatever. Didn't want those points anyway. Alright, they agreed to attack. Let's go. Patras stumbled. As James shot a disapproving glance in his direction, the enemy assumed a defensive posture, ready to meet the foiled surprise attack. Well, pooh. Of course you go after him first. Down you go. Okay, let's go with Fetters of Rhyme. And I forgot to change all of my stuff again. Oh, and you're poisoned too. That's fantastic. Hey, you got some strength though. Get your butt back here. Patras, you just move away. And down goes the giant. Patras was on fire, yes, yes I know. There we go. Let's go ahead and neutralize some of that. Got a little bit of that left, so we'll go ahead and use it. Got some of that left. Go ahead and use it. Well, that is definitely some good stuff that I would like to get. Also good stuff that I would like to get. Don't know where the giant's body went. Alright, I'm just going to put this on all of our armor. Because why not? Okay, in terms of equipment, I definitely could pick up a lot of the stuff here. So I think I will do so for now. Ah, there's a giant. Giant has 50 gold, though. I'll take that. I have over 12,000. I may go leave some of this in one of the siege engines just to be on the safe side. Let's get on to Armorcraft. Didn't get any other skills. Rather disappointed. His defense needs a big boost at this point, though. Not Armorcraft, Weaponcraft. Oh, come on, game. Seriously, not giving me any at this point? How rude. Very, very rude. And you were on accuracy melee rather than casting. Whoops. We should do some resting soon. But there are supposed to be some items up ahead, or containers or something. If we can get there. Okay, a crossbow. I can carry the crossbow. Can't carry much else, and I don't really want to leave anything in these chests. Alright, well... let's get back to, well, actually, I can go sell the crossbow right now. I'm going to put some of the stuff in one of the siege engines, I think. 55 sovereigns. Will you take this? No. Is there anything else that I would want to sell? That's fine. I don't care. And, of course, you won't buy these. I gotta get these back to, North Warden in order to sell them. Which is okay. Alright, let me go find a siege engine. Alright, this one closest to the catapult should do. The question is, how much can it actually hold? A pretty good amount. Okay, no other room. That's fine. Alright, so we'll grab that stuff on the way back, since obviously we're going to have to deal with this catapult in some manner. Alright, let's go ahead and camp right here. Not as good. Alright, let's go check out those other chests first. Because I think we're pretty close to just moving on from this area, so I would rather get whatever is out here. Some armor. That's going to be hard to get back. The box's lid refused to budge. It appears to be locked, Patrick said. Shall we try to open it? Not yet. In fact, you should probably be casting... Scent of Sarag. It's trapped, Patrick replied, dazed by the effects of the spell. Someone's rigged it to explode the moment the lid is lifted. Shall we try to deactivate it? Not yet. I had a feeling it might be. The trap was deactivated. James breathed a sigh of relief and gently lifted the lid of the box. Oh, there's the catapult gear. I was actually not expecting to find it right now. I thought it was elsewhere. Patras grabbed James' shoulder. Startled by the sudden movement, James halted and gazed up at his companion. What's wrong? The chest. Give me a moment. Yeah, it's trapped too. There we go. The trap was deactivated. Another Mordell lamprey. It is repairable, so at least that's some points we can spend. There we go. So we got a lot of that. I should have used one of those before I rested. And flame root oil. I guess we can use that for our next fight. What else do we have in the area? There's some stuff over there, but I imagine I'm not going to be able to get over the bridge. Is there anything to the north? Since it looked like it was off the map. No, there isn't. Alright. Get back onto the road. Let's see what happens if we try to cross. It looks like this will be as far as we're going. Too many guards on the other side of that bridge for us to slip by. I don't think it's too important we go that way anyway. Our objective is to get those plans for the Duke. Come on, let's head back towards Raglan. Okay. You say so. Alright, so there was a guy wanting some barding. But I do believe that you need to actually have a pretty bad barding skill. And Patris's is not bad enough right now. There's a way to fix that, other than getting him injured. Let's go ahead and use one of those. Well, I could sell that gem. Yeah, I'll think about it. First of all, let's just get some rest. Even money says it's a tavern. Let's go in. James approached the Mordell Tavern. So you really think we can just walk... So you really think we can just walk right in without attracting unwanted attention? It's a trick I learned many years ago. Everyone will gravitate toward the simplest solution to any dilemma, he whispered, reaching for the door. Patris wasn't convinced. This is highly irregular. Look at it this way, James continued. We either have a legitimate reason to be here, or we are completely insane and are walking right into the middle of enemy territory. That doesn't make a lick of sense, so everyone inside will assume the first is true. Now try to act like you belong here. I mean, he's not exactly wrong. Raglan's hovel. Conversation within the room halted briefly as James pushed his way inside the room, returning a nod from a rough-looking pair of mercenaries who otherwise seemed engaged in a dispute over a lost bet. Let's do some barding. And 81 sovereigns. Thank you very much. Alright, so we got a barmaid, we got a talk, we got an innkeeper. Oh hey, we can actually stay here. The Mordell approached them, apparently satisfied with their story about being mercenaries from Queg. The Mordell told them he was a trader who made frequent trips to several of the towns located near the border between the kingdom and the Northlands, explaining his command of their language. What can you tell us of the push south? Asked James. Word has it that Captain Krondor received his final orders for the move against the North Warden. Futile. With our numbers, we have no hope of surviving the march to it, and then breaching the walls. The Kingdom Baron will crush us utterly unless the engineers come up with something. Try not to be too interested. James prodded the Mordell further. Segerson? The Mordell stared at them strangely. I had heard he was killed in a Quegian battle near Palanquet. Oh, I wouldn't know, James recovered casually. I've not been on foot for 8 years or more. I've been working in a press gang. The Mordell replied. Well, it's all a moot point at the moment anyway. Krondor has locked himself into his commandeered command post to work on the battle plans for a goblin offensive with the engineer, and the engineer just sits in his house drawing up designs. Hopefully the kingdom won't elect to retaliate after this madness is over with. They thanked him for the information, and he was able to provide, and casually strolled back to a spot near the tavern door. How about you, fellow? James approached a Mordell. He eyed them suspiciously, then shrugged. Though he spoke to them in the kingdom tongue, his speech was broken and somewhat slurred. You been hired by Narab's brother? What's his name again? Nago? Asked the Mordell. James nodded his head. Yes, we are mercenaries from Queg. Just arrived. What news have you of the south? The Mordell lowered his head, then whispered. Except Captain Krondor has got final orders for the move against North Warden. Beyond that, I ain't got the faintest what's going on. Resigning himself to the fact the Mordell had nothing more of value to tell them, James remained for a short while to listen, not wanting to attract undue attention to themselves. At last he excused himself from the table. Alright, barmaid. So we've got ale, Akeshian ale, and Quegian brandy. I don't actually know which gets you drunker or faster. Let's try this. Alright. That's what I thought. Drunk 28%. And you can see that his skills have all gone down by a little bit. His barding has gone up, though. I need to get it a little bit lower. $34. That should be enough. Thank you. The party's barding ability has increased. Alright, you're not at 100. Yes, I should have paid attention to that. Oh well. He glared at Patras suspiciously with upraised eyebrows. Yes, did Aaron the minstrel send you to sing for me? Yes. Well, come in then, he said, ushering them all inside. I am very busy, but I work much better with music playing. Helps me think. And what manner of work do you do? Asked Patras. The Mordell scowled. You here to sing or ask questions? There's a lute over in the corner. Use it! Patras played poorly. Considering his condition, this was a pretty easy task. Fortunately, this is exactly what the old Mordell wanted to hear. He grumbled something about being able to play better, and this seemed to make him happy. Soon he was telling them all about his work. I had been working on a catapult for Captain Krondor, but the dragon lover refused to pay me when I was finished with it, so I fixed him right up, removed a critical gear, and now he can't get it to work at all. The Mordell laughed, then continued with a sly smile. I finally had it moved to a spot within range of his house, and loaded it up with a magical poison. One of these days, I'm going to retrieve that gear, and you can say goodbye to Captain Krondor then, I can assure you. Where did you hide this gear? Inquired James. Hid it in a box by the bridge. Now shut up and let me concentrate. Despite the poor quality of the music being played, it seemed to have a soothing effect on the old Mordell, because before long they heard a soft clunk and looked up. They realized it was the sound of his head dropping onto the wooden table. Moving quietly so as not to disturb him, they left. Well, I already have the gear, so it is okay. And we need to get off of being drunk, so 3 sovereigns for the night. That is fine. Yeah, it's close enough, really. Alrighty. Clearing up some food, at least. Let me go ahead and sell this gem, just because I don't really need to keep it in my inventory. 445 sovereigns, that is perfectly fine. Anything else that I want to get rid of? No. Could try to get rid of some more food onto Patras. Alright, there's plenty of space for me to move stuff around. Alright, so, we have the gear. We have learned what is in the catapult. But I think we're going to have to do that in the next episode. We'll see what happens when that fires on the town, on Kroldek's house. But I am actually going to run back to North Warden real fast and sell off the stuff that I left in that siege tower. Just so that it's not like, you know, sitting around and I don't have to run back again and grab it. So, I will see you guys next time. See you then, everyone.